Okay, so it's Friday evening, and I've got other things I'd like to do, so this should be the last one for the evening. But again, over the past week or so, there have been lots of things in the news, some of which I just feel compelled to speak about because they either get on my nerves or the hypocrisy just drives me insane. And one of them, again, this gets back to the gun control issue, which has been going on for the past week or so. And the Democrats in Congress who had their little sit in on the House floor because they weren't getting their way in Congress. And, they didn't want to go through the whole due process thing. They just wanted to hold their breath until they turned blue and stomp their feet and hopefully get their way. And, that's okay. Republicans do it sometime too. I get it. That both sides do it. The thing that gets me is the thing that really ticks me off is how when the Republicans are doing this crap, the Democrats just lose their freaking minds. Oh, they're stopping our due process, and how dare they not listen to the people, and how dare they ignore our needs and the Constitution, blah, blah, blah. Then the Democrats do something like they did this week with a sit-in, and the Republicans lose their minds. Oh, look at these sissies, look at these babies, look at these whiners, blah, blah, blah. Okay, fine. Both sides do it. Just deal with it, all right? Stop acting like your side is better than the other side. You both do the same damn things. And then you whine and whimper when the other guy does it. If you want to change things, set an example. How about you stop being an asshole and let them be the asshole? Call me crazy. Maybe at least you'll look smarter than they do. But let's think about that. One of the complaints that I heard from people was, oh, these special interest groups, they're buying off Congress. We've got to stop these special interest groups and all this lobby money that's getting in there, the NRA lobby and blah, blah, blah. Cry me a river. You wimpy, whiny little minions of the government will sit there and whine about special interest groups. Okay, Mr. and Mrs. Liberal, let me throw a couple of terms at you. Planned Parenthood, Sierra Club, lobby groups, special interest groups, groups that take your money and go to Congress and twist arms and pad pockets and maybe, lay a little something in some palms to grease the palms, grease the works, so you get your voice heard. And then along comes the National Rifle Association, and they do the same thing on a different issue, of course. And you just lose your minds. How dare they? How dare they subvert the system? Well, it's the same system you use when your interests are at stake. Stop acting like it doesn't happen both ways. For crying out loud, people, we have a constitution. I've said this before. I've said it in my writings. I've said it on some other videos. The Constitution is what should dictate what our rights are that are being protected by the government. Now, our rights come from our humanity. Some people would say it comes from God. Fine. If you want to go that route, fine. It comes from being, you're a human being. As a human being, you have certain rights. Our Constitution codifies those rights in writing and says these rights will be protected by the government. Now, I'll be the first one to tell you that if you've spent any time at all reading on my page or listening to me, you know I have no use for Republicans or Democrats, especially the party loyalist types, the ones who they could give a shit about the rest of the country as long as their party's doing okay. As long as we're in power, as long as we have influence, everything's golden. But we don't want that other party to have it, or we don't want those peons in the flyover country to actually think they have some power and some rights. Both sides screw us over. Do you understand that? Will you, at some point, come to grips with that? Both the Republican Party and the Democrat Party are screwing you and me. They don't give a shit about you and me. If you think that they do, then they win. They've already got you. You're their robot, and they know it. Wake up. Do some research. Think about it for a minute. Just think. Apply some common sense if you still have any. Neither one of the two major parties cares about you. They talk a good game. It's like, have you ever watched WWE wrestling? Seriously, have you ever watched it on TV? That's politics in America. When the cameras are on, when C-SPAN is scanning the floor of the House or the floor of the Senate, and those guys are wagging their fingers and making speeches and banging on the desk, and you're thinking, yeah, you go, boy, you tell him, that's my guy. See, that's my guy. He knows what it's about. Then the cameras get turned off, and they all go out for a beer together. Hey, what are you doing tomorrow? I don't know. You want to play some golf? Do you really think they have any interest in you at all? Just stop it. Both sides lobby. Both sides have special interest groups. And until we get rid of all of those special interest groups, nothing's going to change. You give your money to certain groups because you want those groups to lobby on your behalf. Fine, I get it. That's the system. You're using the system. Well, guess what? The folks on the other side of the aisle do the same damn thing. But you're going to sit there and whine and whimper when you don't get your way because your lobby group got beat by the other lobby group. Grow up. Deal with it. Maybe you need to get a better lobby group. Maybe you need to give your lobby group more money. I don't know. I'm just throwing some ideas out there. But the fact is, lobby groups exist, special interest groups exist, because people give them money to advocate for them. Because you and I can't sit on the floor of Congress all day long, and we can't go to meetings with representatives all day long to get our point across. So we give money to special interest groups. By the way, I don't give money to the NRA because they compromise too much. I give my money to the Gun Owners of America and the Virginia Citizens Defense League when it comes to protecting my gun rights, because they don't compromise. You don't compromise on freedom, because once you do that one time, it's the old adage about the camel getting his nose under the tent. Once he gets his nose in, pretty soon the rest of him is going to be in the tent. You can't compromise on your rights, even the ones you don't like. You may not like the fact that I and others own guns according to the Second Amendment, but it's there. It's a human right of self-defense. And until you start respecting that with others, don't be surprised if others don't respect some of your rights. It's a two-way street. You got to give respect to get respect. Anyway, stop whining. Deal with reality. See you later.